Today we are bringing all of the MMA news straight to you with timestamps, by the way, if you would like to skip to any particular part of the video. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with many YouTube channels and welcome back to everything that you missed in MMA this week. Guys, it's going to be a slow one because this has been probably the slowest week of MMA news that I can't even remember the last time it was this slow, but we have some absolute bangers for fight announcements. I cannot wait, guys, but there are some interesting things going on. Honestly, it's pretty much just drama and a trending meme, but we're going to get into it. It's still going to be a fun video. It's just not a lot of news to talk about it, guys, but if you'd like to skip to any particular part of the video, again, timestamps will be there if you would like to use them. Let's get into it. So the first piece of news is a very, very quick one. Talia Santos, or Tyla Santos, however you pronounce it, is no longer in the UFC. She has either been cut or she parted ways with the UFC. That isn't exactly clear, but she is no longer in the UFC. And honestly, I mean, kind of, I'm not really shocked, but I mean, what can you do, right? Guys, this is something that I really wanted to talk about, okay? This is something that I've been, because you gotta tell me if this is real. So let's take a look at the UFC subreddit, and what we've been doing for these news videos is also including things that have been trending in the UFC and MMA subreddit. Let's hey, what is the community talking about right now? This was one of the most trending things to happen this week in the UFC subreddit, and it's a picture of Cyborg from 2014. Now, I can't look at this, and I'm like, there's no way this is real. There's no way this is real, but all the comments are talking about it as if it's real. Like, nobody's saying, good one, but there's some, different jokes where it's like, Vanderlei, you can't fool me. Is that Vanderlei Silva in a thong and, kind of good looking? You know what I mean? That's what people are saying, but other than that, there's a lot of, no ways. There's, kind of my reaction, too. I'm like, there's no way that's Cyborg. What? She's not absolutely horrifying. I'm not saying it's, anything good, but you know what I mean? Doesn't look like Cyborg, but you guys got to tell me, man. Is this real? Because this was legitimately trending in the UFC subreddit. So I don't know if more people don't know if it's real, or I wish I could tell you, man. I wish I could tell you. Guys, if you have any idea, let me know down below. So anyways, guys, Chael Sonnen's back in the picture today. If you remember, we talked about Chael Sonnen versus Ariel Helwani. The drama has been hot now. Jorge Masvidal's going at Chael Sonnen, and man, I don't understand why these guys are going after Chael Sonnen, because they're just going to get cooked. Chael Sonnen, just go on his Twitter. He has been absolutely roasting Jorge Masvidal. It's been crazy, and Jorge Masvidal, he is not a good trash talker at all, because it's oh yeah, you big mouth, once I see you, it's on sight. That's all that he has, pretty much. I'm going to sucker punch you. Hey, Chael, when I see you, are you going to 50-40 for me? Yeah, I bet you. I bet she'll try. It's just, he's not good at what he does, man. And Chael's just been absolutely cooking him. You got to go check that out. It's been an absolute blast to witness. But that's not it for the beef. That is not it for the beef. Ariel Helwani is also back in the mix, but it's not Ariel versus Chael. Apparently, they've patched things up. According to Ariel Helwani, I haven't seen anything on Chael in that case, but Ariel Helwani versus Jamahal Hill, it's going on again. Wow. While these two haven't been really exchanging back and forth like they used to, Jamahal Hill has been really taking shots at Ariel Helwani, understandably so. People are finally seeing it's tough to say because Ariel Helwani, the dude's a weasel, obviously, right? But I really enjoy his content. So I don't want to just go, oh, that little weasel, but I kind of have to. I'm just gonna do it. Ariel Helwani uses the fighters, and I understand it's a show where he interviews people, but you get the point. He always is agging fighters. He's asking the questions nobody wants to answer. He's a liar. He pretends to be people's friends, and that's what pretty much Jamahal Hill was saying, right? And people have been reacting to Jamahal Hill and going, oh, Jamahal Hill, that's not okay. There's a couple people in particular that were saying that were upset because Jamahal Hill said, you wouldn't say that to my face. But in reality, I don't understand how you can argue against this, okay? One of Jamahal Hill's points was, you are talking mad for a guy built like you, Ariel Helwani. You're talking to a guy, and this is something that people were posting all week too, because one of the things that he said to Chael Sonnen was, oh, Chael, you don't have the balls to say that to my face. And he was angry, and he was talking tough. You're saying that to Chael Sonnen. Chael Sonnen, the guy who, he's afraid to talk to you, Ariel Helwani, but he's the guy that fought Fedor Emelianenko. It's crazy to me. So people were upset that Jamahal Hill was saying stuff like that, and he was kind of repeating it where he's these guys over the screens, they have no problem being so insulting and so tough behind the screen. But if you saw this, you keep that energy in the same person while you're in person. I don't see an issue with that. But people are taking that and going, well, Jamahal, it's kind of the same thing that Ariel Helwani was doing. I remember when Jamahal Hill was everybody should keep their hands to themselves. And then everybody took that. Ariel Helwani spearheaded it, but there was like half the internet was talking about it too. It's like, Jamahal Hill says it's okay to beat your wife. And all he said was everybody should keep their hands to themselves. Like, it's kind of like that same thing now where it's like, hey, why is everybody so tough behind a screen? They're not tough in real life. That was his point, where it's like, you wouldn't disrespect somebody like that in person. Everybody's now like, Jamahal Hill's okay with beating people up that you see on the internet. Like, I almost feel bad for the guy, man. I really do, because his points are clear and they're obvious, but people are taking them to like such an extreme. It's crazy to me. So Jamahal Hill has been going back at Ariel Helwani. I'd like to see that develop a little bit more, because to be honest with you, it's quite entertaining. And anytime Ariel's in drama, it's difficult to be on his side. But I look at it objectively, and of course, Jamahal Hill's right. Ariel Helwani is not the fighter's friends. He's just using them whatever way he can. But guys, honestly, I know I talked a little bit about that stuff, but that's all of the MMA news we've had this week. But I do want to move on to the fight announcements, because we have some absolute bangers, as you might know. Now, let's start off in order as they were announced throughout the week. We have Taylor Lapilus taking on Fareed Basharat on January 13th. Now, I'm a big fan of the Basharat brothers, especially Fareed Basharat. Love watching that guy. He'll probably win this fight. I'm really excited for that. Now, the only fight that I'm talking about right now, this is the only one that is not official, but it's in the works. And you know, when the UFC announces that these fights are in the works, more often than not, they get confirmed. So the card I don't know if it's UFC 297, but it's on January 20th. Jan Blachowicz versus Alexander Rakic 2. Now, this is a very, very fun fight because, of course, that fight ended in a freak injury. And Rakic is somebody who is, I honestly thought he was going to be champion a long time ago, but injuries have unfortunately kept him out of the game. But I'm a big Jan Blachowicz fan, one of my favorite fighters ever, so I will be on the side cheering for Jan no matter what the age and no matter how much that holds up the division. I will be cheering for Jan Blachowicz to win that fight anyways. Now, we have the three big ones. Sean Strickland versus Dricus du Plessis, UFC 297. Alexander Volkanovski versus Ilia Topuria, UFC 298. Sean O'Malley versus Marlon Vera 2 at UFC 299. Now, first of all, I cannot wait for them to announce UFC 300. It's probably going to be McGregor, but who knows? Regardless, all these three fights are absolutely fantastic. Sean Strickland versus Dricus du Plessis is the right fight to make in the division, and it is an intriguing matchup in that division. Alexander Volkanovski versus Ilia Topuria, also the correct matchup to make in the division, but it's a little early for Volkanovski to come back, in my opinion. I don't mind Topuria's chances. I really don't. Now, the one fight that doesn't make any sense is Sean O'Malley versus Marlon Vera 2. That should be Corey Sandhagen's fight 10 out of 10 times. Like, I get that he had a little bit of a boring performance against Chito Vera, but man, Corey Sandhagen has done enough to get a title shot, man. He's gotta, you know? But you know what? It's an exciting fight. I can't help but be excited for it, and I wholeheartedly believe that Marlon Vera is going to be champion. I think he's going to beat Sean O'Malley. So I mentioned in my other video talking about this, it's like, could you imagine Chito wins and then we get Corey Sandhagen versus Chito Vera 2? That'd be really funny. But anyways, continuing on, we have Thomas Peterson taking on Jamal Pogues on February 3rd. Then we have Song Yadong versus Chris Gutierrez, December 9th, UFC Shanghai. This is an incredible main event. If you guys don't know, I'm a huge Song Yadong fan. It is absolute pleasure to watch this guy's hands in the octagon. I cannot wait for this. He's going to definitely win this fight against Chris Gutierrez. Nothing against him. It's just, I see the matchup going very well for Song Yadong. And we also have Manel Kape back, and he's taking on Mateus Nicolau in a rematch on January 13th. Another very good fight. I don't have too much to say about that besides I'm excited for that. Now, we have the last fight, Charles Jourdain versus Sean Woodston on January 20th, which I believe is the Canada card. Now, oh my God, I love Charles Jourdain, watching Charles Jourdain fight. I'm a huge fan of this guy. Like, there are so many fights that just got announced here that I am so excited for. The end of the year and the start of next year is going to be spectacular. I love watching Charles Jourdain fight. I love watching Song Yadong fight. I'm a huge Jan Blachowicz fan. Like, all of these fights, every single one of them are amazing this time around. You know, I can't wait for it, guys. Which fight are you most excited for? Please let me know. Now, guys, before I get you out of here, we have some fights to watch this weekend. Now, of course, I'm going to be watching tonight. I'm going to be watching Game Bred Bare Knuckle MMA. There's actually quite a few good matchups on there. And as much as I've been crapping on Jorge Masvidal, like, I used to be a big fan of Jorge Masvidal and his fighting style, and he's been putting together some very nice cards, and I can't wait to watch this. So, Game Bred I'm going to be watching tonight, and of course, you have UFC 297 tomorrow. Excuse me, 295. Is it 295? Yes, 295. I don't know why that was escaping me at the moment. You got the card speaks for itself. From early prelims all the way to the main event, man, you got to catch every single fight on there. So it is a very nice weekend for fights. I'm excited. I'm interested to see how Game Bred's going to go, but After this, I'm taking off to my dad's. We're going to watch it together. I'm so excited for it. And with that being said, though, guys, that puts an end to this video today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. If you are new here and you enjoy the content, we have this video out every single Friday. I would really appreciate it if you did hit the like button on the video. Now, guys, if you'd like to continue watching the Clenbat channel, there'll be 2 videos on screen for you right here. I will see you either there or in the next video, guys. Take care.